I've spent over $3 million on ads for gyms, and these are the 9 things that I've learned. All right, guys, what's going on? It's Coach Will, and in this video here, I'm going to go over the 9 things I learned running ads for gyms over the last 15 years here, and we're going to go into number 1 right away, which is that conversion rates have always been low, and they always will be low. At the end of the day, running ads to cold traffic. This is what's called cold traffic, right? If you can't handle 9 people ghosting you, and saying no so you can get 1, and this is probably not going to be for you, right? If you're closing really just like 10% of the leads you're getting from paid traffic, you're actually killing it. This is the real work of the game, right? A lot of gym owners, when they first start getting into running paid traffic and running ads, they assume that the leads that they get are going to be converting at a similar rate to what they experienced with all the leads they get from organic through like Google search and word of mouth, right? And what they don't understand is that word of mouth traffic, you're actually spoiled with that, right? That's word of mouth traffic. When a member refers another friend, they're going to convert at probably like 70% rate. You're going to close 7 out of 10 people that your members connect you with, right? People that find you through your website organically, through like Google reviews and your Google listing, which really is where you should spend a lot of your time focusing your energy on. But when that works well, you close 30 to 40 to 50% of the leads that come in through that traffic source. When you run paid ads, at the end of the day, you're going to convert a much, much lower rate, just 10%, right? Which leads me into number 2, is that it's always about the numbers. Real world example here, guys, is that if you spend $1,000 on ads in a month and you get 100 leads and you close just 10% of those, if you close just 10 of those for $175 a month membership, you just made $1,750 a month or $17,500 in annual recurring revenue. It's actually more than that. That's just 10 months. For $1,000 in spend, right? Again, 90 no's to get 10 yeses, and you make a 1,750% return in just 10 months, right? So tell me again how much you love your Bitcoin returns, right? Because there's not a better investment than investing in your own businesses, traffic acquisition at the end of the day, right? So number 3, the strategy has to change every 3 to 6 months, right? The platform is changing faster and faster every year. We first started running ads on social media platforms like Meta and Facebook and things like that. You could run the same ads and just leave them on for like 3 to 6 months, and they would work, and then you would just take them down, reconfigure them, put some new media up, and you turn them back on 6 months later, and they'd work again. You know what I mean? But now ad space is incredibly competitive. Facebook is trying to compete with Google. Google's trying to compete with Instagram. Instagram's trying to compete with TikTok. At the end of the day, these platforms are all very, very competitive, and they're always changing their algorithms. They're always changing what's more important, right? It used to be that like you could just use images, and the images didn't even have to be that good, and it really just was whatever whatever the text was in the ad, right? There were times when like everybody was doing video, and video was working really well, and then 6 months later, video stopped working, and we went back to imagery, and it worked, right? So it's pretty much an innovate or die mindset when it comes to ads. Number 4, don't use interest targeting. When you go in to set up your ads on social media platforms, like for example, Facebook ads, it's going to ask you what kind of people you want to target. It's called interest targeting, and you're going to be compelled to want to click, oh, I want people that want fitness stuff. I want people that want health stuff. I want people that want wellness stuff. I want all these people. And in your mind, you're thinking like, those would be great because those are the people that a lot like our current members, right? They're really into this stuff. We want more of those people. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. It basically shrinks your audience. And really, in reality, it's understanding that for a gym, everybody's a good prospect, right? Everybody out there, everybody in your local area is a good prospect. And just, they won't serve to almost anybody who's going to click on your ad if you just target only people that want health and wellness stuff, because Facebook almost takes that too seriously. And what they do is they target people that are like other gym owners, other fitness fanatics, people that aren't looking for help, people that already know, right? In reality, what you want is you want the people that need help, right? You want the people that haven't found you, that need you, that don't know you yet, right? And that's everybody, right? So what you're really going to use to target those people is you're going to use your copy, which is a fancy word in the marketing world for your primary text, right? Like you're building your ad inside your ads manager, you're using the text itself and then the media, right? Which is your imagery or video people actually see. And you're using those things to call out to target the right people, right? The algorithms will use that along with a feedback loop to determine who the best person to show the ads to is. So what they do is you put your ads out there and you create multiple versions in the same campaign, and you be the same text in all the ads, but you use a different piece of media in each variation. And then what Facebook will do is they'll put that out to a bunch of people locally, and as people start clicking, they start gathering data on the shared interest of all these people, and they start finding more people with similar shared interest. And then it starts to go down the rabbit hole and show it to more people, like the people that are clicking and opting in, right? At the end of the day, you don't know more than the algorithms. So don't try to tell Facebook who to serve it to. Just create a really, really good ad with a really, really good copy and really, really good media that gets people to start clicking and opting in. And when you do that, Facebook's going to go find more of those people. Number 5, you have to give your ads a rest, right? Where we've seen a lot of gyms go wrong before they even come to us. They'll come to us and we'll look into their ads manager and we'll see, oh my gosh, these ads are like, used to work good, but they're completely saturated. If you have good ads and you just leave them on for months and months and months, they will inevitably stop working. They will just stop producing altogether. You'll just fatigue the audience. And once the audience is bearing fruit, you don't want to oversaturate it. And at the end of the day, it'll take forever to recover from that, right? If you saturate your market, because we've had gyms that have just oversaturated their market with ads, when they come to us sometimes, we'll have to be right up front and tell them, like, it's going to take a while to recover from this because you have completely, like, as far as people just have banner blindness in your market, right? So you have to cycle and recycle your ads and give them a break. This is actually a really, really basic tip that even like most advanced ads people don't know, don't do. They just leave their stuff on in perpetuity. And what happens is they work well for 2 or 3 months and then they start fading. And forever how long you've let those saturate, it's going to take an almost equal or greater amount of time for them to recover and for the cost per lead and all your metrics to come back down to reasonable prices, right? So because people will just start ignoring your ads altogether because they're seeing the same thing over and over again, right? So you have to pause, rebuild, recycle, right? Number 6, you have to sell the appointment, not the service, right? When you follow up with your leads, the worst thing you can do is start pitching them over the phone, right? It's easy to get very, very excited. And again, it might be because you're coming from a place of like only ever having sold people that came in from word of mouth or organic. And when those organic word of mouth leads come in, they're much, much warmer, right? They kind of know what they're getting into. The conversation's often very, very short, and it's, hey, come on in and sign up, and you close 9 out of 10 of those people that come in the door, right? When you're dealing with people that are very, very cold, you don't really want to start blathering when you get them on the phone. It's really like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I saw you were interested in working with us, and you clicked on the ad, and I saw you didn't book an appointment, you didn't schedule an intro to come down and check out the gym. And you pause, and they're going to say, oh, yeah, I was busy, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look, that's great. You know, people don't know this, but the person talking to you is going to try to bait you into finding out more information because at the end of the day, they're skeptical, right? So they're going to try to get you to give them more information so they can find ways to tell you no right now. They're really in a process of elimination. So you don't want to get into that game. And what you want to do is just go right for the appointment. The next step it's always the next logical step is, hey, that's great. That's awesome. I love all your questions. It's exactly what we're going to talk about when you come on down. Do you want to come in Wednesday or Thursday? Right? It's really as straightforward as that. It's really because at the end of the day, like, the best salespeople are people that serve best, right? So you just focus on the next level, right? The follow-up is just to help them to make that next logical step, which is to book an appointment to visit your gym, right? That's what they opted in for. They didn't opt in for you to try to sell them the whole thing the first time. It's overwhelming. They're probably going to say no. They don't know what you really sell and why it's worth what it's worth, right? Especially if they're coming from a gym membership that's a $20 a month Box Globo Gym membership, or even if you are a big Box Globo Gym membership, but maybe you have better features and benefits, you have some differentiations, right? At the end of the day, you don't really want to get into a features and benefits comparison over the phone, right? So whatever they say or ask in the call, it always concludes with you coming back with a question of, do you want to book for Monday or Tuesday? Do you want to book for Wednesday or Thursday? Do you want to do in the morning or the afternoon? Do you want to do 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.? And you get them on the schedule to come in and have that conversation in person because, as you already know, when they walk in that door, they're going to sign up 9 out of 10 times. That's one thing we know, right? Number 7, so there has to be an offer and a call to action in the ad, right? If you're running ads just to tell people you exist, that's okay, but you will not get a short-term ROI on what you spend. We've seen other agencies, we've seen gyms, owners trying to run their own ads, run these ads, and they watch something on a YouTube video somewhere where someone's telling them like, oh, you just say something nice in the ad and post a picture of some people working out. And you spend hundreds if not thousands of dollars on these ads and nothing happens. And then you start thinking, oh, Facebook ads don't work. When in reality, it's that there's some simple principles when it comes to actually getting people to take the next step. And people don't generally, if you're running an ad that is just for awareness to let people know you exist, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get awareness. You're not going to get leads, right? So if you're going to run ads, you need to create an offer that solves a specific short-term problem first, and it has to be compelling. And if you want leads, you have to create lead ads that advertise that compelling offer. Number 8, you are going to attract people that churn at a higher rate. So ads on social media are what's called interruption advertising. So you're doing interruption advertising, which means that they're scrolling and they're looking at pictures of dogs and babies and trying to keep up with the Joneses, and then your ad interrupts them. And your ad interrupts them because maybe they talked to a friend and Facebook's invisible ears heard them talk about how they want to lose some weight. So now they're serving them gym ads, right? There's a lot of reasons why these people see these ads. Maybe they clicked on some weight loss ad. They read an article in a publication somewhere on the internet that talked about losing weight or doing more fitness or whatever. They could be ice cold, just barely beginning to start this journey, and your ads interrupt them while they're searching on social media. And it's not a bad thing, because some of those people are going to convert. Some of those people are going to be in the phase where they're ready to start taking action, right? In that, you're going to convert some people that maybe have never done anything like this from before. They're not from this world. They don't understand a lot of what goes on in a community-based fitness gym, right? They just don't know that. And this is when good businesses start to adapt or pivot their processes to better convert more new customers into recurring customers, right? This is where you start to work on the internals of the business and understanding the real work of a subscription-based business model, because it's often very easy for like a large group training gym, like a CrossFit gym or a martial arts gym, to get its first 50 to 70 members just via word of mouth, right? And then you get there and realize, oh, we're only making like a couple $1,000s a month, and we want to make a real paycheck because we're doing this full time. So you start needing to run ads. And the mistake we make is treating those people that we sell from the ads like the people that came, like our first 50 to 70 members, which the first 50 to 70 members were people that strictly grew organically from within the community, that's great to keep leaning on that. But if you're going to run paid ads, you have to understand that your post-sale processes are probably going to need to change, because that person isn't coming in buying community, right? They're just buying a specific end result that the ad talked about, right? So this is where you find out how good you really are at converting the average person into another member of your cult, essentially, right? This really also puts the stress test to how good your community is at pulling people in, right? Because at the end of the day, there's two choices, right? The choices for this person is to either make a change or remain the same, right? And if the pull to remain the same is stronger than the pull to change, which is created by your program, steps upon which they have to climb to become like your other members, how good those are, right? And this is every business. Every big business, when it starts small, it's always a core nucleus of community of people that were early adopters and innovators within a niche, right? And for a gym, it'd be the local area, right? These are the early adopters and innovators. But as the business evolves and starts to scale, it finds ways to elevate those innovators and early adopters into leaders within the community that helps that next wave of customers that come in that are kind of more mainstream people that aren't as deep into the intricacies of what it is, right? They're not saying the jargon, right, of whatever your gym speaks, but that's where the environment finds ways to pull them in. And if your gym people walk in and people start speaking in tongues to them, then that's kind of a top-down leadership thing and helping people understand how to behave inside your community, right? It also might be how you carry yourself, right? If you talk to people like supposed to know what the words AMRAP and Metcon mean, then they're probably going to be like, hey, I'm sorry, but this is moving way too fast for me, right? It's the real work of a subscription-based business model. All right, number 9, guys, your organic funnel is critical to your ad performance, right? So when you run ads, we've found that that your website traffic spikes by as much as 30% in that same period. So if you run ads for like 3 weeks, we'll see your website traffic go up for 30% in that period of time. And that's because discerning people don't always click on the ad. If you're a discerning person, say you're someone who's very, very frugal and it takes a lot to get you to buy something, think about how often you actually click on the ad. More often than not, you see the ad and you might not even think about this, but you'll probably open a browser and do some research on the company. You might even go as far as like going on Reddit to see what people are saying about it. You might even go, for a local business, they're going to go to the reviews, right? They're going to type in your business and they're going to see what reviews you have on Google. They're going to see what people are saying about you. They're going to click through that and go to your website and see, does the website match up with what people are saying about them, right? And is there a lot of friction here? If it's really difficult for them to figure out how to take the next step because now they're very motivated, right? They made 3 or 4 clicks and it's just like them hitting a brick wall, then you're not going to convert that traffic, right? You're going to end up flopping, right? In that regard. Because at the end of the day, they're going to look for proof, and if they don't find it, they don't convert, right? Marketing is never very effective when parts of it are done in a vacuum, and all the successes tend to be temporary. When you build everything to work holistically, you tend to build an ecosystem where the traffic is consistent and it's very, very controllable. That's the main takeaway I would say with this video is that when you run ads, and when we do it, we never look at it like, oh, we're running ads and that's the end game for this client, right? We look at it like a whole marketing ecosystem, and that's how you should view it all, is that because when you do it that way, you actually build something that can stand on its own, and there's multiple traffic sources feeding customers into the business during different seasons as the different traffic sources ebb and flow. There's certain times of the year where social media ads are going to be, the bang for buck's going to be really, really good, and there's going to be great returns. There's certain times of the year where organic is really going to pick up steam, and you almost don't even need to run traffic, right? And it is the holistic view of all these things working together that creates this flow of traffic towards you at all seasons that leads to consistent growth, right? And that's really all I have to say about that, guys. For every business, there comes a stage where organic volume is not enough to keep growing, right? We call it net zero churn, right? And every business reaches it, where it's like the amount of organic and word of mouth we were getting was enough to get us to 150 people or 100 people, or if you're a bigger gym, maybe 500 people, maybe 1,000 people. But now, like, that volume is almost equal with the number of clients we lose each month, right? We call that net zero churn. And oftentimes it doesn't happen month by month. Oftentimes it happens in spurts, right? You're getting 5 new members a month and you're not losing anybody, but then June comes and you lose 20 people, right? Or 20 people put their stuff on hold. And that offsets 4 or 5 months of organic traffic, right? So you need to, if you want to keep growing, that really just depends, which if you're watching this video this far in, I don't see why you wouldn't be someone interested in growing if you're watching this. But if you're interested in growing your gym, you have to add other traffic sources in. You have to have traffic coming in from paid strategies, from advertising, right? You have to have organic lead flow coming in from Google searches and local search. You have to have traffic coming in from content on social media. You have to have traffic coming in from the word of mouth and from your members telling other people and people just hearing about you through other people, right? When all these things work together, you create an ecosystem of growth, right? So to recap, the downside of paid is that it's a lot of work on the follow-up end. The leads are going to be 3 to 5 times colder than organic leads, right? Just so it's not a surprise for anybody, because people go to run ads and then they're like, oh, wow, 9 out of 10 leads I get are just absolute junk. That's what it is. And the churn rates can be higher with these members. If the 1 out of 10 you do sign up, there's a probably 30 to 40% chance they're not going to be a member in month 2, right? There can be a 60% chance they're not a member in month 2 if you think your systems are good for indoctrinating a new member into your community and your gym and getting them to use it, but they're actually not, right? It's understanding, in short, that this is like a lot of work, right? It's not a magic pill. It's a lot of work, right? Now, the upside of paid in advertising, if you dial in your offer the right way and you have a really, really good funnel, and the follow-up is good, it becomes a very big part of a very scalable and repeatable machine, right? The great thing about ads is once you figure them out, that my cost per lead is $10, and for every 10 leads, we get 1 customer, and that customer now costs me $100 to acquire. If we know that cost requires $100, then we can just spend however much we want to get the number of customers that we want in supplementation to our organic traffic, to our word of mouth. It becomes something that's actually predictable, because organic's not super predictable because it's often very seasonal. Word of mouth is definitely not predictable, right? That's the biggest problem a lot of gyms have, is like, don't know where they're getting the next customer from. It really is just going to depend on when their members start deciding they want to tell their friends at dinner and at lunch or their coworkers. And it's really, really hard to control that, right? We're not trying to say don't do that, but it's really, really hard to control that. And you can't force your members to do it. You can do a bring a friend day once every month or once every quarter. That's about all you can control, but you can't even control how many people are going to show up to that. All you can really do is hopefully bang on the doors of your members enough to bring their friends, but you're really putting the future of your business in someone else's hands by doing that. And that's, in my opinion, that's never the best way to go to sleep easy at night, knowing you're going to make more money next month than you did this month, hopefully, right? Or at least the same amount, right? So that's really it, guys. In Thinking and Learning, this is not only helped me build my gym to 350 plus members and a really amazing team when I had it, but it's also what's helped me build hundreds of other gyms and help them break through growth plateaus, right? Because really that's what it is. At some point you hit a growth plateau. We're bringing in 3 to 5 new members a month, but we're also losing on average between the high and low seasons 3 to 5 members a month, and we're sitting still, and here we are working very hard to try to grow the business, but it's not going anywhere. And that's what's helped me get there is these 9 things. So I hope you found this video valuable and it helps you better understand the intricacies of paid strategies for your gym. Upward and onward, guys. Have a great day. Bye.